The whole thing was so surreal because these guys come in, I don't know how many were you? You were so many guys. And they were basically these young guys out of... No. There were so not 6 people, but anyway. There were eight of us in the draft board, and they sent 6 people in to arrest us now. I don't think so. Anyway, these guys come in with guns drawn, and they have their navy blue blazers with big FBI on the back, right out of FBI school, many of these young kids, and then there were some supervisors there. And as Roro said, I did see some people roughed up. Michael Doyle I saw Paul Cooming pushed and pulled and pretty harshly. Bob Williamson. I myself was not, except to the extent that they grabbed hold of me, threw me down and sort of put my arms up behind me. And it was sort of so surreal, as Roro said, that I kept thinking to myself, I have to remember this. I have to be able to tell this story. This is the most amazing thing in the world. It was so out of the ordinary. And so these 2 guys, I'm laying on my stomach, and they've got my arms up behind me, pulled like this, and one guy, he's got his knee in my back, and they're, doing it just like out of FBI school, you can tell. And then he says to the other guy, give me the cuffs, and he says, I thought you brought them. And I thought, no, this is not really happening. But anyway, that was my experience.
Actually, hold on. Terry, why would the FBI confront a non-violent group with guns drawn?
First of all, total outright inaccuracy. I have, as recently as this week, talked to one of the agents who was in on that. No guns were drawn. In those days, we never drew our guns and to this day, unless there's people that have guns or we think are going to have guns. Nobody put a knee in anybody's back unless somebody was resisting. But we were allowed to arrest them. If people resist it, you can do what it takes to subdue this resistance. And it's a shame these people have, I think, been honest and truthful in trial. I hate when they got to come out and instead of defending what they do, find fault with the FBI. If any of them ever been trained in arrest, that they might know what it takes to arrest somebody.
Father, you were there. You're priest. I was raised a Catholic. Tell me what happened. Tell me who's telling the truth here.
Well, I was out on the parapet, on the south parapet, and it was very hot. I was there working on draft files, and then this man came walking along and put his hand on my shoulder. It was Joe Gingrich, who's gone before us, and he was as nice as could be. He put his hand on my shoulder, and I said, okay, there's no place to go. So I walked in front of him back to the window and came through the window back into the draft board. What I didn't know was that Joe left me. He disappeared. When I came through the window, three FBI agents jumped me. They pushed me down on the floor, and okay, that's okay. But one of them jumped with his 2 knees into my chest. They ripped off my belt, and they tied my hands with my belt, so they didn't have enough handcuffs for me. And then they put us on that happened in that draft board. And they put us lying on the floor, which is okay, and I was guarded by Joe Gingrich, who was nice to me. And I'm lying on the floor. It's a different view I have now of the ceiling. And a man walks in and says, Michael Doyle, Roro Riley, Cookie Rodolphe. He named us all. Never saw him before. He had 2 slits in the back of his jacket. That's what you see from the ground up. I remember it so well. I said to the agent, whose name I didn't know, that was Joe Gingrich, I said, who's he? He says, that's Guy Goodwin. And Guy Goodwin was John Mitchell's deputy from Washington, D.C., in the draft board at 6 a.m. Imagine that.